Welcome to Minibedroom Interviews, a show dedicated to diving deeper into the artist and for the artist to dive deeper. I'm your host, Riggio, and today we have a very special guest. It's somebody that I met about 6 years ago. I was at church, and they was in the choir, and that song they was playing was crazy. Still to this day, I have yet to hear that song again, but I remember going up to the person and just raving about the song, and ever since then, we have been the closest of friends. It's been my brother. This is somebody that give you the shirt off their back. Please meet Benayah Israel.
No claps needed. No claps needed.
How you doing, Benayah?
I'm doing good, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing real good, man. Is there anything before we get into the interview? Is there anything you want to just say to the people, get off your chest in any way, shape, or form?
I hope you all are doing well, and I hope that you work to continue to do well in your lives. That's it.
Lit.
I fear God keep His commandments.
That's what I need to hear.
Uh-huh.
So Benayah, can you tell us where did you grow up? Where were you? Where did you born? Where did you start?
I started in Elk Grove. I think I was born in a hospital in Elk Grove, Illinois, and I grew up in Bellwood, Illinois, which is a suburb outside of Chicago.
Yeah.
Growing up in Bellwood, Illinois, that's where I went to preschool, kindergarten, first, second grade. That's where I went to school during my primary years. After that, like high school, I actually ended up moving. My mother and father ended up separating, yeah. But I ended up moving with my father during my time in high school. So growing up, I grew up in Bellwood. That's where it started at.
Solid. I ain't never heard of Bell. What is that?
Bellwood is. Have you ever heard of Maywood?
Yeah.
Maywood, Illinois. Bellwood is the next town over. Next town west of Maywood, Illinois. You heard Hillside? No. So
whole Hillside, is that the place where that bowling alley is at?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I heard of that.
Yeah.
Would you say Bellwood is as rough as Maywood? Because Maywood it is not super rough, but like it got like its challenges.
Yeah, Maywood. Nah, I wouldn't say that Bellwood. Bellwood doesn't have the level of poverty as Maywood. Maywood has been through some things.
Yeah.
But no, Bellwood, it's definitely not. It's definitely not rough. It's people try to make it rough. You know, you have people who come into the neighborhood, and it is primarily black and brown people, black and Hispanic, black and brown people now, but people try to make it rough, but they don't really have to live like that out in Bellwood. They could just go to school, learn, get a trade, keep moving on with their life.
It's crazy that you say that because I used to live in Des Plaines. I don't know if did I ever tell you that I used to live in Des Plaines?
No.
Yeah, so I used to live in Des Plaines for like 6 years of my life, and it used to be the same exact thing. It's like Des Plaines wasn't a rough area, but people would try their best to like make it rough.
Yeah.
And it's like, what are y'all holding on to that y'all need to make the suburbs rough? It's not that serious.
Yeah.
So what would you say was one of your biggest challenges growing up in Bellwood?
My biggest challenge growing up in Bellwood was probably trying to be what rap music taught me to be. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of negativity in our actual neighborhoods. Like let's say in Chicago, like I said, I've been in Chicago for years. That's where all my family's from, but my father and my mother, they had gotten decent jobs and they moved out to Bellwood. But growing up, you're trying to figure out what it is to be a man. And then, you know, boys, you got testosterone, especially I was on the football team, ran track, played baseball, so played basketball. So, you know, those boys, it's always competition among males.
Yeah.
And as I said earlier, my mother and father separated. So when that happens, you're trying to figure out what does it mean for me to be a male or to stand out as a male? And you looking at people who are speaking about things that they went through, which is truth for them, whether it be selling drugs, whether it be violence. You know, these are some stories that were true for some artists, but I'm listening to them and I'm thinking that's what I'm supposed to be as a male. You know, so that was probably one of the biggest hurdles I had to get over. Not only that, you have people who have families people in Bellwood who had families, like in Chicago, who may have been big money families, like in the streets.
Yeah.
But they moved their people out to Bellwood. They'll move they cousins. They'll buy houses in Bellwood or Maywood. They'll move out of Chicago, that area. They'll still like get money in the streets out in Chicago, but they'll move their family out into the suburbs or something.
Yeah.
But you have families that are generations deep in like street stuff, and they'll be like out in Bellwood. So their kids are acting wild and stuff, and you friends with them, trying to keep up with them, but you can't keep up with them. You wasn't brought up in that life.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can't. But I think that was the biggest thing, trying to fit in with what my perception started to become was a black male was supposed to be.
When did you feel like you finally got out of that mindset where it's like I escaped that perception of what my life was supposed to be?
I would say that did not happen until maybe around 22. So I went to college. I actually got into a school called SIU, Southern Illinois University.
Yeah.
And I got in on the strength of my ACTs. Not that my grades were always good, but I did have the ability to understand what was going on in school, which was good. Some people, school is difficult for them.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessarily that difficult for me.
Yeah.
So I had decent scores on my ACTs and I got into college. Even in college, I was still trying to sell weed, trying to hustle, trying to do little things that I didn't really have to do. But because of my perception of a black male, and fitting in, what my perception was, I was going in that direction. So, in response to your question, when did that mindset change? Towards the end of my time at SIU, like I said, I was selling weed with some people, and it was a guy in our crew who we selling weed with, and he started telling on everyone. Like the guy, we had a guy from Louisiana. It was all type of people at SIU. We had a guy from Louisiana, and he would travel to Louisiana, pick up pounds of weed, bring it back, and then we'd be selling whatever. And one day he got picked up, and we sitting there like, what in the world's going on? So he got picked up. We looking for him. And we finally find him. He's like, man, I was in jail. The police had picked me up, and then he said, man, they asked me, do you know And they gave the person's full name, and he like, how y'all know this person's full name? You know what I'm saying? And he like, how they got this person's full name? So you talking to this person, and now you coming to get me.
Yeah.
So he had got hemmed up, and he was actually at that school on a full track scholarship. But he was from Louisiana, but he was at the school on a full track scholarship. And he got pinched off. Then another guy, his right-hand guy got pinched off.
Yeah.
And it just so happened that semester at SIU, it was winter. I had failed out. Of school. I could have worked focused on it, but I failed out of school. And in me failing out towards that last semester, I actually started like asking God different things. God, what am I supposed to do? Show me yourself. Who are you? Are you God? Are you Allah? Are you Buddha? Who are you?
Yeah.
And I asked God to show me. And I met somebody who started saying, hey man, look at the Bible. Let me show you some things in the book that people don't pay attention to. Did you know they had showed me things like, man, did you know the original people in the Bible were black? Moses, remember, he showed one of the plagues to Pharaoh, and one of the signs was that his hand was supposed to turn white.
Yeah.
So if you're already white, like we see in the movies,
why would your hand turn white?
It won't make any difference to me. Yeah. But I started seeing things, and I'm learning things, but I, again, failed out. And your question was, when did my mindset change as far as what I'm supposed to be? I started really asking God, what am I supposed to do? Who are you? What do you want? And how am I supposed to be? And I'm still selling drugs. Like I say, everybody getting knocked off. And I failed out. And that was a blessing, because if I would have went back, I would have been locked up with everybody else. But I failed out. The Lord just had mercy. But after I failed out, I started to, I was at home, I was back at home, and I had got a regular job, and I actually started going to community college, this community college called Triton. I went there, and I started trying to take the class that I failed out at. So that I failed out in.
Yeah.
So I took that class and I passed it. It was this class it was this business calculus class. So I took the class and I passed because I was figuring if I pass the class, I can get back at school.
Mm-hmm.
But at that time, I'm like, let me start trying to do things right.
Yeah.
Let me not try to come up with no scheme. Let me not try to, I was trying to sell weed. I was trying to sell T-shirts. I was trying to find different schemes, credit card. I was trying to find all these schemes. I'm like, let me just cut the schemes. I'm learning things about the Lord. Let me learn to do things correctly. And my mindset changed when I started to just accept that I'm different than others. I see things differently, and that's fine. I view, I analyze things differently, and I started to accept that I'm different, and a bunch of other people are different, and I shouldn't work to be in competition or try to be like anybody else. Yeah. So the Lord started showing me that, and that's when my mindset really started to change. When I started to really accept what gifts I see the Lord gave me, when I started to accept that certain gifts he done gave other people, I don't have. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have a great gift where you're able to be very personable with people. I don't have that all the time. I can help you with plenty of things. I can help you with your car. I can help you with drywall. I can help you with your plumbing. I don't do none of that. Yeah, I can do all that. But when it comes to being really personable, I'm more of an introvert. So I got to force myself to really be, engaging. And I've gotten pretty decent at it over years, but some people who are natural at it, like those are the people who will end up being top salesmen. Those are the people who will end up being, they have they'll be really successful in moving and helping people move around. But I started to accept other people's gifts and then accept mine and be content with what I have. Yeah. And that's when my mindset started changing. The Lord had me go through a bunch of things. Mm-hmm. And when I started to really accept myself and not accept the negativity, not accept myself, the negative things about myself, like really trying to get away from negative things, like whether it be womanizing or whether it be things that I just desire for, covetousness. When I work to get rid of those things and really deal with the positive aspects, the things that are positive in the world, and not the negative things, and accept what I have, accept my shortcomings, and accept that other people got gifts that I don't. Yeah, that's when my mindset started to change. When I, start learning learning about God, and start to accept me and others.
And that's a blessing that you was able to do that at an age of 22, or at least start that process at the age of 22. Because I feel like what you talking about is stuff that people still deal with in their 30s, in their 40s, in their 50s, like just being taught to be a man in a certain way, and just you know what I'm saying? It's like you just follow that for the rest of your life because you just think that that's the blueprint. You know what I'm saying? So that's a blessing that happened at that age. So at what age did you find an interest in music and just making music?
I started having an interest in music from, since early on. I used to write. I used to be in little plays when I was a kid. They have little plays at church or little plays in the school. I'd be in little plays, remembering lines, writing. I would write a lot, and I got an interest. I really started getting an interest in music, maybe around 4th or 5th grade. I would write as an outlet, and then when I got in high school, I met a crew of guys who really like hip hop. They would listen to Nas, and they was listening to AZ and Common Sense and Talib Kweli. We got a little crew going, whereas we all would write and rhyme. So
that's how I remember you was telling me about that too, because y'all used to perform too. Or was that in college?
We had a performance. We started performing in college. That's when we started actually performing. But yeah, it started early on, but when I met like with a crew of guys who we all had the same interests, that's when I really started like writing more, and then you get exposed to how different people, how they put together their similes and how they put together their metaphors, and you're like, oh, it just got dope.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I feel it. It's the same exact thing for me, because I loved music when I was younger, kind of like 13ish. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't until I got into like that group setting where there was other people writing, where it was like, okay, all right, now I'm taking it serious, because it's like it's all of us. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, that's lit. All right, so we're gonna move on into our next segment. We're gonna welcome Benayah Israel into elementary school. Elementary school is a game that tests his ability to remember everything that we learned from elementary school for the most part. He has 10 seconds to answer 10 questions, and this is for a chance to be in the Minibedroom Hall of Fame. Are you ready?
Not really.
Here we go. All right, let me shuffle these up. Boom. First question. Solve the following equation. 3 plus 2 divided by 1.
3 plus 2 divided by 1.
It's multiple choice if you want to listen to the multiple choice questions.
Can I get in the Hall of Fame right now if I answer it without the multiple choice?
No, you gotta answer. No, that's not how the Hall of Fame works.
All right.
That's not how it works. You can't answer without it though, so 3 plus 2 divided by 1. Is it A, 5, B, 10, or C, 3?
In elementary school, I think this was maybe high school.
You only got 10 seconds.
3 plus 2 divided by 1? 5.
Ding. All right, here we go. We got more questions. The interior angles of a triangle always add up to
180.
Oh. Yeah, there you go. There we go. Sure, you knew that before me. What is the main character in the story called? Is it A, antagonist, B, main character, or C, protagonist?
The main character.
Is it A, antagonist, B, main character, or C, protagonist?
Main character.
It's wrong.
It's the protagonist.
It's protagonist.
Oh, okay.
That's it. I'm sorry.
Right.
It's the end of the elementary school. Good run, though. Yeah,
good run.
Good run. Let's move on to the rest of the interview. So, why does the Word of God have such a strong presence in your music?
That's what's caused all the change, all the positive change in my life. So, I can't turn my back on the only thing that's helped me. There's no point in me talking. First, it's no point in me speaking about negative things. There's no point in me speaking about things that's going to cause detriment to our community. Why am I going to speak about, why am I going to belittle our women? We're trying to build our community. We see our communities are broken.
Yeah.
So why am I going to belittle our women? Why am I going to belittle our brothers? Why am I going to belittle, you know what I'm saying, our children who may be in positions that aren't the best for them? Why am I going to belittle them or talk about or give them things that's just going to continue to hurt them? You know, I'm going to give them I'm going to give them information that could help them. Whereas if they go in this direction, if you follow this direction, you can get somewhere great in your life. We've had a lot of music over the years that tells you to go in directions that's not going to do anything but destroy you and your community.
Facts. That's 100% facts.
Why am I going to do that same thing?
I feel it.
And they speak about like I said, with the Word of God, I can speak about that all day. And like I told you earlier, I became comfortable with who I am. I'm still becoming more and more comfortable with who I am.
Yeah.
But I became comfortable with who I am. So if you look at both sides of the coin, right, the negative and the positive. On the negative side, you have people who will speak about the same things, whether it be making money, selling drugs, killing, slutting out our women, whatever. Where you have people speaking on the same things every song. What's wrong with me speaking about the same things every song, even though it's positive?
Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's why, because that's the thing that's caused positive change in my life, and I don't want to give anybody
anything that's negative. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What's one thing that you would tell your past self? Like if you can go back to 18-year-old you and say one thing, what would it be?
I can only give them one lesson.
And then you disappear off and you go back to the future. What's the one thing that you would tell yourself?
How many sentences is this? Is this lesson a paragraph?
It could be a paragraph. Yeah, it's just one lesson though. So that's
just one lesson.
Yeah.
If I could tell my 18-year-old self and give him one lesson, how many seconds do I have?
It don't matter.
Should I chill with him for a whole day?
Yeah, you could chill with him day, but you only telling him about that same one thing.
I'm only telling him about one thing.
One thing. Yep.
Dang. Yeah, we do. So, fear God, keep His commandments, and it's okay not to be all that. It's okay not to be the greatest ever. Fear God, keep it. Fear God. Maybe this is
one. That's two things.
Yeah,
you got to pick one.
That's what I'm saying.
Pick one. Just one thing that you.
Just one lesson.
Yeah.
Read this book and trust what it say. Don't let somebody tell you.
Show the book. What's the book? Put the book in front of the camera. People can't see that.
So, read this book and trust what you read out of it. Don't trust what somebody tell you or say. Don't trust what somebody gives you as an interpretation. Read it and and follow what it say. Trust what it say. Even when you feel like ain't nobody with you. Read this book and trust what it actually says. That's
what you would say.
I would say read this.
Perfect.
Read this. Trust what it actually says.
Yes.
Not what
all that hoopla.
Tell you. Yeah. If it say keep the Sabbath day, and you know the Sabbath, and you know you can look on the calendar, and Saturday, which is the seventh day, is the Sabbath day. Trust that, and don't let anybody tell you anything different.
Yeah, that's facts. That's facts. I would tell my 18-year-old self a very similar thing. Me and you worked on a song for my latest project. We worked on the Keep the Commandment song with Charlie Moe. Yeah. So man, I know we worked on plenty of songs, but did you feel anything special about that particular song?
Man, whenever we get to work together, I feel it's special. Like, it's the same thing each time we come in. We listen to the song, and my same routine. I look at a few scriptures, then I sit there and write something concerning life or whatever, but from the standpoint of trying to teach something per the word of God.
Yeah.
But it's always special to be able to sit down with you and actually take time to focus on making music, because in my life I don't have that much spare time to just do it anymore.
Yeah.
So it's always special when I'm able to just, when you like, hey bro, I got this song, and I'm like, all right, and I say, all right, we gonna make some time and do it, because other than that, I don't really have time to even spend. I don't have the time that I can allocate, or that I have been allocating, to really be able to do that. Because I have 3 kids, got one on the way, got my wife. My parents are getting older. I try to take care of some of their things, their buildings or whatever they have. So, and then I got my job, my regular job. But it's always special. It's always special to come together and make something that's positive that other people can use.
I feel like we need to release our project song, because we got about 12 or something songs.
We got some songs.
Just ready to go. But on that note, all right, we're going to welcome Benayah Israel to the hot seat, where he has 10 seconds to answer 10 questions. My 10 seconds, not yours, with the help of our set supervisor, Carlin. Here we go. First question. What's a weird talent you have?
I can twirl my pencil.
That's pretty weird. Okay. Who's your favorite person in the whole world?
Jesus.
True. Your favorite cartoon character?
Bugs Bunny.
But what's your favorite number?
7.
Okay. Are you single?
No.
Not even a little bit.
No.
Hey, Sister Jamila. Worst movie you've ever seen in your life?
Worst movie I've ever seen in my life? 4. Jumanji.
Oh, you don't like
the
that?
new one?
Oh, the new one. Okay. What was the last meal you ate?
I had some hot chicken wing. Somebody told me it was 2 chicken wings, but it's really just 1 chicken wing broken half.
Was it really?
It was good though. It was good.
Okay. What was the nastiest food you ever tried?
The nastiest food I've ever tried, chitlins.
You the second person to say that.
What?
The second person. It must be a fact.
No,
Chitlins
it's
are
not.
nasty.
No, y'all eating them wrong. I'm sorry.
You eating them wrong?
My father gave me some chitlins when I was young, like I was 8. He's like, "Come here, boy, eat some of this." And I came and I put it in my mouth, and I could not swallow it. I ran straight to the bathroom and spit it out. I just couldn't do it.
They not right. Okay, how old were you when you lost your virginity?
16, 15 or 16.
Okay, I'll take it. Who's your favorite musician? Rapper, singer, or producer? Anybody?
My favorite musician? Right now, Robert Glasper. It's gonna change tomorrow, but right now.
That's good. Yeah. You passed the hot seat.
Hey!
Well, Benayah, I have a gift for you.
I got a gift?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, okay. Is it edible?
No, it's not edible. It's not edible. Well, while you open your gift, I'm going to give everybody the scripture today.
Okay.
All right. The scripture today comes from Luke 14:11. It says, "For whosoever exalteth himself shall be abased, and he that humbleth himself shall be exalted."
Hey.
Keep it on your mental. All right, Brother Benayah, what you got?
I like this, man.
Hey.
I like this. I like how this is asymmetric over here on the side. I like this.
That's lit.
Yeah.
That's lit. Well,
I
hey,
like this, man.
thank you for coming through.
All right, not a problem. Thank
Really
you for having me.
appreciate you.
Uh-huh.
All right, this is Minibedroom Interviews. I'm Riggio. Catch you later.
Hey y'all, what's up? It's time for Cash with Carlin. It's your chance to earn some cash and our chance to help you out. But we have some rules. First, you must include your cash tag with your answer. And second, entries will only be accepted until the next episode. Winners will receive $26. And remember, there can only be one. Good luck! Who is Benayah's favorite musician?
All right, we're going to welcome. Blah, 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 blah. We're going to welcome. Let's do it again. Welcome to Minibedroom Interviews. This is Riggio. No, I'm not supposed to say Riggio so fast. I'm not supposed to say that so fast. Here we go, one more time. Can you talk, Benayah, real quick?
I'll
I
keep
just wanna see
talking. Yes, sir. I will keep talking. I'm talking now. I'm talking and I'm speaking to you. I'm just speaking to you right now in the
it. Say something loud.
say something loud, 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 loud,
Okay.
loud.
All right, we're going to welcome Benayah Israel to the hot seat. He has 10 seconds to answer 10 questions. Here we go. You ready?
All right.
It's like 10 seconds per question.
Oh, 10 seconds per question.
Oh, yeah.
Can you even speak that fast?
He was like, okay.
Yes, we did.
We did it again. Another episode in the books.